do you see this momentum continuing, particularly when there is still so much opposition from regulators, from the likes of ECB? We heard from the former ECB President Jean-Claude Trichet overnight saying Bitcoin is not real and not the future of money.
I think there's different time frames of view. So if you look at a short-term view, Bitcoin cryptocurrency is a smaller market cap instrument, so there will be high volatilities. But if you look at the fundamental technology, and if you have a longer-term view, say a yearly view, 5-year, 10-year horizon, we're very confident that the industry will stay, the industry will get bigger, and when the industry gets bigger, the prices will go higher.
And obviously underpinning that is a lot of interest in the blockchain technology as well. We had President Xi kind of being quite bullish on blockchain. This is very different to what President Trump has tweeted on blockchain and Bitcoin itself. What did you read into President Xi's comments and the upside that could give to the technology?
Sure, absolutely. I think super positive. And China's very pro-technology. So China will invest very heavily on blockchain technology and on the education of blockchain technology as well. So given that China have already made that move, every other country in the world will have no choice but to follow. Or move faster, hopefully. But it's going to be pretty hard to move faster than China, to be honest. So I think we're going to see a race there.
Yeah. Okay, and, well, tell me how. Please carry on.
Sure, and also China's comment is really about the blockchain technology, but you cannot just learn about the blockchain technology without learning about cryptocurrency. So I think we will see a lot more people who understand Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies. So we'll see a very strong adoption there.
Tell me about here how you expand here, CZ. What's the market looking like? I mean, how important is Singapore in this? How big is Southeast Asia? And what's your next frontier?
Sure. I think Singapore is a key market in this area. Singapore has already played a very leading role in the adoption of blockchain technologies and cryptocurrency. Singapore has some of the smartest government and regulators around, and they have an in-depth understanding of blockchain technologies and cryptocurrency. And they upheld some of the most rigorous but also sensible regulations towards cryptocurrency. So I think Singapore is going to play a very key role in Southeast Asia and beyond.
I'm rather interested in what you're going to be doing in China and what your China strategy is. You know, given also we had Xi Jinping making a speech about blockchain recently, and that had a huge effect on the space. Anybody which was connected with advising Xi Jinping in a corporate sense saw their company's stock, should they be listed, go on an absolute tear.
Yes, so we are also seeing that happening. Our strategy is very simple. I think we want to follow the recommendations very closely, and we want to promote the blockchain technology research and development. And we're looking at a number of initiatives in that area, and we just want to help wherever we can.
What have you learned from some of Libra's troubles, and would you list Libra if it got the go-ahead?
So we can't really make predictions on what Libra will look like before it comes out. So we will take a more closer look when Libra comes out. But our metric is very simple. We look at the number of users. If the users are all using it, then we will have no choice but to list it. And from the comments that we observed, most of the attacks are against Facebook, not particularly Libra itself. So we'll have to see when it comes out.
There's still so much regulatory concern over cryptos, and obviously, as I mentioned before, there's been calls from the likes of the ECB for more regulatory approval to come through globally as well. Does that affect what's happening in terms of institutional interest? Are you seeing much institutional interest?
We are definitely seeing a lot of institutional interest picking up. I think the regulatory uncertainty still haunts us in some countries, but I think we are seeing definitely a race towards adoption now. Binance is working with a number of governments. We signed an MOU with the government of Ukraine, advising them on regulatory frameworks. And we work very closely in Singapore with the MAS, which is a regulatory body here. We work with a number of other regulatory bodies around the world. So I think things are improving very quickly.
CZ, I think in September you announced that you were getting involved with the over-the-counter RMB or yuan market. Where are you with that, and have you opened an office in Beijing to facilitate things?
Yes, we are servicing the OTC market similar to other exchanges in China are offering. And we don't have an office in Beijing. That's a rumor, so that's not true.
You're heading to Turkey, the Turkish Capital Markets Summit. What is happening there? Because there's quite a lot of interest coming through in that space.
Yes, so what we have seen is a very strong interest from Turkey, very active market, and there's a conference organized by the government there, and I'm going there to learn more about it, and we are supporting that market we want to support that market more proactively.